Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Robert N. Wilson Field, home of your Georgetown College Tigers. Once again, this is Game 2 of a doubleheader against the Saints of Thomas More University. Tigers won the first one 7-2. Big win, a big pitching performance by Jake Manderson for the Tigers. He went 7 innings strong, only gave up 1 run. No walks, 5 strikeouts, 96 total pitches in his appearance. Did an excellent job going up and shutting down the Saints offense. Looking to do the same here is going to be number 11 for the Tigers, Keon Cisneros, to start this one off. We're still waiting for lineups up here in the press box. And it looks like we're still going to have about another 5 to 10 minutes before this matchup starts. So when we do return, we will be back with you and the starting lineups for both teams in this matchup. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in and joining us today. And as that little ticker message at the very top says, we will be doing Senior Day immediately following this second game right here. Once again, folks, my name is Ben Robison. I am your broadcaster for today, along with our wonderful Tiger Sports Network crew, here to bring you all the sights, sounds, and action from today's matchup. Tigers looking to sweep the day and take 2 from Thomas More University to go 8-6 in the Mid-South Conference and improve their record to 22-14 overall. We're going to be back here shortly, and we're going to step away. And when we come back, we will have those starting lineups, and it will be the start of Game 2 to this doubleheader. So don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Robert N. Wilson Field. We are just about to get underway here for Game 2 of the series against the Saints of Thomas More University. Let's take a quick look at the lineups for the Saints. It's very similar. It's actually identical with the exception of the pitcher for the Saints. Leading off for the Saints is going to be Casey Nowak at third base. In right field is going to be number 8, Brady Baldock. At first base, number 15, Derek Atwood. The designated hitter for the Saints is going to be number 12, Gavin Pearson. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 20, Bailey Martin. In left field, number 24, Brady Reynolds. In center field, number 27, Tyler Flick. Batting eighth is going to be the catcher, number 18, Jacob Caruso. And then at the shortstop is going to be number 14, Brett Benzinger. So that's the lineup for the Saints. Now let's take a look at the Tiger defense. A little bit of changes in positions here, but it looks overall relatively the same for the Tigers. For the Tigers here, we're going to have Luke Torino. Josh Duarte over in left field. In center field, it's going to be Val Stamler, and in right, Eric Thrower. Across the infield, we're going to have Chris O'Neill over at third base, Deshaun Moore at shortstop, Shota Yasuda at second. At first is going to be Justin Brote. Behind the dish is going to be Brandon Krenrich, and up on the mound is going to be Keon Cisneros once again for the Tigers. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once again, that's going to be Nowak, hitting at the plate. And a couple of changes at second base is actually going to be Luke Torino, and then in the designated hitter position is going to be Shota Yasuda. So count remains the same, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Repeat that once again. In left field is going to be Josh Duarte. In center, Val Stamler. In right, Eric Thrower. At third is going to be Chris O'Neill. At shortstop is Deshaun Moore. At second is Luke Torino. At first, Justin Brote. Behind the dish, Brandon Krenrich. Up on the mound, Keon Cisneros. And once again, the designated hitter for the Tigers is going to be Shota Yasuda. That one fouled off and back by Nowak right there. Count remains the same, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cisneros getting ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. That one fouled back once again. Count remains the same, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nowak in his in the first game, went 1 for 4 with the run batted in. Cisneros with the 2-2 pitch. That one rolled over towards second base. Torino unable to get there in time, and Nowak will lead this ball game off with a hit. That one coming just off the end of the bat. You hate to see it as a pitcher, especially a lot of that weak contact right there. But Nowak, being that left-handed hitter, able to get out of the box quickly enough and get down that line to give the Saints their first base runner of the inning and the ball game. That'll bring up Baldock, who grounds this one over to Torino at short. And the double play well executed by the Tigers. That's Moore to Torino to Brote over at first. So the 6-4-3 double play, and the Tigers now have 2 outs in the top of the first inning. And just like that, Tigers now in a good position to get out of the inning scot-free. That ground ball coming courtesy of Baldock. And at the plate now is going to be Atwood, the first baseman for the Saints. Atwood 0 for 4 in game 1, pair of strikeouts. Keon Cisneros, good life on that fastball right there on the inner half. brings the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Cisneros getting ready and comes set, delivers the 1-1 pitch. Good fastball right there on the outer half. Fouled back into the glove of Krenrich. Keenan now ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cisneros, a little bit of injuries during the beginning of this season, has worked through them, and it honestly looks like he's been throwing a lot harder ever since doing that rehab. Gets a big punch out right there. Keon Cisneros, good job going 1, 2, 3, 3 up, 3 down. Saints do get 1 hit to no avail as that double play by the middle infield. Able to get 2 quick outs for the Tigers. So that'll do it for the Saints in the top of the first inning, and that'll bring up the 1, 2, 3 hitters, Deshaun Moore, Shota Yasuda, and Justin Brote to the plate for Georgetown. I do want to let everybody know that throughout this game, hopefully we can get 2 of the alumni. I know 1 for sure. Nick Acosta, former catcher, is going to be up here in the top of the 3rd inning to come and have a conversation and just catch up with what he's doing, kind of commentate with me up here. And then hopefully Ryan Gardner, former first baseman for the Tigers, to do the same hopefully in the 5th inning. So stay tuned, folks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back here shortly. You're watching Tiger Baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, everybody, to Robert N. Wilson Field, home of your Georgetown College Tigers. To lead off the bottom of the 1st inning is going to be the leadoff hitter, Deshaun Moore. Takes that breaking ball low and in for ball number 1. Moore in game number 1 went 2 for 5 with a single and a double. Drove in a run and scored 1 himself. That 1-1 pitch missing away. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Mitchell Morris on the mound for the Saints, coming in this one with a 7.79 ERA. Spikes that one down in the dirt. Catcher Caruso doing a good job keeping that one in front. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. But Morris coming in this game with a 7.79 ERA. It's his 8th start of the year. He'll walk more right there. Tigers now have a runner at first base with nobody out in the top of the 1st. Shota Yasuda, the designated hitter for the Tigers, now up to bat. Morris has given up 33 runs on the year, coming courtesy of 39 hits, and he's in 34 2/3 innings pitched. So it looks like the home plate umpire is just having a little conversation with the guys up in the press box, just about the music kind of going a little bit too long. Haven't had an issue with that in game 1, but he wants to address it, nip it in the butt early right here. So back at the plate is going to be Shota Yasuda, taking that fastball up for ball number 1. That walk from Morris to Moore, that was Morris's 22nd walk given up in the year. He does have 33 punch-outs, which coming into this game led the team for the Saints. That one popped up to the first baseman, Atwood, who's going to collect that and make the catch for the first out. That'll bring up big hitter and Justin Brote, the first baseman, number 30, for the Tigers to bat.
Justin Brote.
Brote in game number 1 went 1 for 5 with a single and drove in a pair of runs. That was a big at-bat by him as that really broke open the ballgame and extended the lead for the Tigers. That ball driven once again to right field. Baldock able to make the catch for the second out. It's the third time Brote has sent a ball over to Baldock, and he was able to collect it with enough room on the track.
Now batting number 24, Val.
Tigers now have 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning after that first batter walk by Morris. Val Stamler drove in the first run, for the Tigers in the bottom of the first in game 1. Shodu Suda coming around to score in that one, giving the Tigers the lead. Runner does take off on the pitch. Over at second base, Moore in there easily at second base. It's an important bag to steal right there, as now Moore's in scoring position for another base hit for Stamler. Will drive in another run for the Tigers. There was a ball on the pitch, so the count is 1-0. Count now 2-0 on that ball down in the dirt. Stamler standing in. Two-0 count right here. Good hitters count. Val not necessarily needing to chase. Needs to find a pitch over the zone. Moore taking off on the pitch. That one's skied to left field right now. Left fielder and the shortstop should be able to get it. Shallow left. Left fielder Reynolds right there, not messing around with it. Calls off the shortstop Benzinger, and that'll do it for the Tigers here in the bottom of the first inning. No runs, no hits for the Tigers, no errors by the Saints. That'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the first. Due up in the top of the second for the Saints is going to be the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Heart of the lineup in Pearson, Martin, and Reynolds to the plate. Cisneros still out on the mound for a second inning of work for the Tigers. Did a good job in the first, going 1, 2, 3. A little bit of assist for his defense. We're going to be back here shortly. You're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field. Tigers and the Saints tied 0-0 as we go into the top of the second inning. Pearson now getting ready to stand in for the Saints. He is the designated hitter in this matchup. He went 0 for 3 in game number 1. That one chopped. Umpire will call it fair. Krunich is going to go ahead and throw it over to first for the putout. A little unusual right there. But as a batter, you really can't be an umpire, and you hear that all the time, especially in high school baseball. You can't be an umpire. You hit a ball, you need to run it out, because you don't know whether or not it's going to drop, fair or foul. And that's what I'm referring to specifically right there. And that's another prime example of guys not being an umpire, and Pearson kind of just standing right there, a little bit of an umpire. Now up at the plate is going to be the second baseman, Martin. Swings at that first pitch and fouls back over the first base side for strike number 1. Martin 1 for 4 in game number 1. Hits a liner just over the second baseman's head in Torino. That one now into right center. Martin looking like he's going to stride into second base, throw in from the outfield. Not going to be in time, and Martin gets himself a stand-up double with one out here in the top of the second. Low line drive right there, good enough just to get over Torino's head into right center field. He was able to avoid that win factor that we've been talking about kind of all day, and he's able to get a 2-bagger for himself. That brings up the left fielder Reynolds now to the plate. Reynolds 1 for 4 on the day with a run scored. He chops that one to Cisneros. It's a high chopper. Cisneros trying to make a good, strong throw. Brote looks like he is able to collect it, and he is, so that'll do it for the second out. But my goodness, if it wasn't for the 6'7" first baseman, that ball would have been sailed into the Georgetown bullpen. But that is one of the advantages of recruiting well. When you do recruit and you get guys 6'7", 250 who can make those types of plays, they're definitely advantageous, and you can especially see it in those moments right there. So Keenan now has 2 outs here in the top of the second, now with a runner at third. Needs to find a way to shut it down right here, not let that runner score by any means possible. His battery mate behind the plate, Brandon Krenrich, needs to do the same. Fully aware of the situation at hand. Runner at third, 2 outs. You need to make sure that you stay in front of the baseball, and both guys well aware of that situation. That ball chopped to Deshaun Moore at shortstop. He's going to collect, throw it across the diamond, and that'll do it for the Saints in the top of the second inning. A little bit of a scare there off that double from Martin into right center, but the Tigers able to shut it down quickly with a couple of nice defensive plays. Quick inning for the Saints right there. Once again, these hitters not afraid to swing the bat, but as of late, it's gotten them to a little bit of trouble. So that'll still bring out the left-handed pitcher in Morris in for a second inning of work. Due up for the Tigers is going to be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Duarte, Torino, and Krenrich to the plate. Just want to remind everybody, folks, in the top of the third inning, we will be having a special guest in Nick Acosta, former Georgetown College baseball player, graduated last year in 2020, going to be on the call and on the broadcast. Going to catch up with him, see how he's doing. Another good friend of mine, played with him for a couple of years, so I'm excited to go to have him on the air and catch up with him. But until then, we're going to be back in just a moment. You're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field. This one's still tied up 0-0 as we go into the bottom of the second inning. At the plate right now and in the box is number 8, the left fielder, Josh Duarte. Josh, the young freshman, has played a handful of positions, came into this year as a middle infielder. He rolls that one. Actually, excuse me, that was a hard line drive over to the Benzinger at the shortstop position. But Duarte came in to Georgetown as an infielder, and he's been pushed out to the outfield and center field and now in left when Val was injured. So he's done a great job out there in the outfield and even up in the box as well for such a young guy. And here we are going to have another conversation between the umpire and the crew up in the press box. Once again, I'm not quite sure what the issue was, because in game 1, it wasn't too much of an issue. But this is what the pause in the action is right now. Luke Torino is going to be at the plate for the Tigers. He's going to be the second baseman. Played left in game number 1. He's now the second baseman in this game right here. Fans here at Robert N. not too happy about the decisions being made. In terms of the umpire, not necessarily focused on the game instead of – he's focused more on the music instead of the game. That breaking ball by Morris is taken by Torino at the plate for strike number 1. Another breaking ball right there. Big swing and a miss by Luke Torino. I talked about it before. Torino's one of those guys with less than 2 strikes. He's going to give you a good swing on the ball, so I don't mind him doing it. But with 2 strikes, you need to find a way to choke up and get on base. There you go. He will take a hit by pitch right there. If I'm not mistaken, that's his 15th hit by pitch of the year. That guy is a ball magnet. That'll bring up the catcher, Brandon Krenrich, now to the plate. For Torino, yes, that is in fact his 15th hit by pitch of the year. He has 8 walks on the year, but 15 hit by pitches. It's kind of an incredible number right there. Fans in the stands now getting extremely excited for the situation we have coming up. That one driven into deep center field right there. But it is going to be caught by the center fielder, Flick, for the second out of the inning. So Tigers do have a runner at first base, but it has been a quick inning so far with that quick line out over to Benzinger at shortstop. That hit by pitch and now that fly out. So there's 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning, runner at first. And at the plate now is Chris O'Neill for the Tigers. Half-hearted pick attempt right there by Morris. Almost gets it by his first baseman as that one dropped into the dirt. You've seen this this Thomas More pitching staff. They're highly focused, and that one is going to be beneficial right there. That one's skied by the first baseman, Atwood, and Torino is going to stay at second base. That one should have been an easy pickoff attempt right there, but that's one of the advantages, being aggressive on the bases, forcing defenses to play catch. And there you see right there, the Saints unable to do that as that one was skied into left. And now the Tigers once again have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. It's now up to this man at the plate, Chris O'Neill, the third baseman for the Tigers, to go ahead and deliver. He takes that pitch up for ball number 1. O'Neill has 6 runs batted in on the year with that 7th in Torino, hanging out at second base. O'Neill didn't play in game 1, but he is starting here in game 2. He's hitting .303 on the year. He'll take that pitch low and away for ball number 2. He's hitting .303 on the year, 10 hits and 33 at-bats, 1 double, 2 home runs. One of those coming at Campbellsville University when the Tigers went up 16-1. Again, that's incredible, especially a lot of these teams in the Mid-South Conference. A lot of tough competition. We've seen it in University of the Cumberlands. They're ranked 3 in the nation. We've also seen it in Freed Hardeman as they were ranked 19th when the Tigers faced them. So definitely a tough schedule for Georgetown so far in facing those ranked teams, as well as good teams like Asbury University, who went on a 10-plus winning streak, and IUSE, who is now on a 17-plus winning streak. So tough schedule for the Tigers, but they're finding a way to get some wins up on the board regardless. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike to O'Neill at the plate. Still a good hitter's count. O'Neill needs to stay within himself. He has done so multiple times. He has 4 walks on the year. Pickoff attempt right here. Torino close. That's a close play over there at second base. Martin and Morris doing a good job, good teamwork right there, nearly picking Torino off. I know Torino a handful of times has gotten a little overextended on the base pass, a little too aggressive, and has gotten caught a handful of times. The 3-1 pitch. It's good on the inner half for strike number 2. Doug got not too happy with it. Couldn't necessarily see it from here and that angle. Nevertheless, it is 3 balls and 2 strikes to O'Neill. Morris currently sitting even. 11 balls, 11 strikes. Make that 11 balls, 12 strikes for Morris. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second base. O'Neill needing to find a way to get this guy in. Talk about how important it is to get the lead first. Tigers really struggled with letting the other team score first, and as a result, have gotten some losses as a result of that. That one popped into right field, and that is Baldock over in right to make the catch for the third and final out of the inning. That'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits for the Tigers. That one error by Atwood over at first base. But no damage necessarily done. Due up for the Saints in the top of the third is going to be the 8-9-1 hitters. That's Caruso, Benzinger, and Nowak to the plate. And once again, when we return in the top of the third inning, we are going to have a special guest in Nick Acosta, former catcher here for the Tigers. So really excited to talk to him. Keon Cisneros back out on the mound for his third inning of work. We're going to be back here shortly. You're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field. Tigers and the Saints still tied 0-0 in this one. I do have a special guest up in the broadcasting booth with me in Nick Acosta. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be back out on the. Doing pretty good right now. Glad to be back out at Tiger Stadium, Georgetown's field, everything. It's good to be back on everything, especially senior weekend. Good to see the boys.
It is a lot of fun, isn't it? And with that one, good first quick out for Cisneros right there with that ground ball over to Moore at shortstop. That was Caruso right there grounding out to shortstop, and that'll bring up the 9-hitter, number 14, Benzinger, the shortstop, to the plate. So, Nick, after you graduated, right, because you graduated last year in 2020, you kind of got your season cut off a little bit. What's it been like transitioning to the workforce? What are you doing now? What's life like?
Well, I'll tell you what. I like to stay busy, so I currently got 2 jobs and everything. I've relocated actually out here to Lexington. I'm originally from Corona, California, Southern California, just like majority of the teammates out here at Georgetown. Mm-hmm. But I've absolutely fell in love with it out here. Obviously, I know a whole lot of other guys out here have absolutely done the same that I have. But yeah, just continue to further my career out here. I'm working in sales and marketing right now down in Lexington, and I'm also helping the community out there, working with Wildcat Moving, doing some moves on the weekend, help people out. Keeps me staying in shape. Just now that baseball's kind of not in the picture anymore, but absolutely, it's been a lot of fun.
I completely agree, and I couldn't even agree more as far as staying in shape. I know myself, if it wasn't for what I'm doing now, moving and constantly being active, I would definitely gain a few pounds. But I know you and Tap both. You guys both look great, especially moving into a more professional setting. Thomas Taplin was one of our previous guests earlier in Game 1, so if you missed that, the recap of that game will be up on YouTube later on after this weekend. But yeah, so you're saying you're moving, you're in job, you're in sales. Do you like that? Do you like where you're at? Do you plan on what do you plan on pursuing further on down the line?
Right. So as of right now, I honestly couldn't be happier with what I'm doing. Sales and marketing was kind of what I went to school for, kind of my area. I got a double major in business administration and communication here at Georgetown. Obviously, love the everything about it. So I feel like they put me in a very good position here. Obviously, found a job very quickly. With that being said as well, absolutely love it. Oh, right back to the pitcher here. There you go.
Keon Cisneros, a quick 1-2-3 inning.
Sorry to steal your
Right
lightning.
there. No, all good, man. I love having people up here, up on the call with me. It's always a lot of fun to have people. But Keon Cisneros with a quick 1-2-3 inning right there. Pair of groundouts and a flyout will do it for the Saints in the top of the third. Nick Acosta will still be out on the call. That was a quick inning, quicker inning than we thought for Cisneros, but good for the Tigers nonetheless. When we go in the bottom of the third, we're going to have the 9-1-2 hitters for the Tigers, Thrower, Moore, and Yasuda to the plate. But let's continue to talk with Nick Acosta for a bit. So continue to go on what you were talking about as far as
what I'm doing and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I actually work currently with Coverall. It's a health-based cleaning service based out of Lexington. Obviously, with everything going on right now, definitely getting, helping the community out with, trying to keep everything safe. So it's absolutely giving me that good feel of what I'm doing. With that being said as well, great communication and everything that I love about my office. My director is actually a former middle infielder for the University of Kentucky. So we obviously had that very good bond, right off the bat, and couldn't be happy of what I'm doing for work and also who I'm working with. So it's been a good fit for me and everything.
Of course, that's awesome. And part of working and being successful and really enjoying your work, loving what you do day to day, is enjoying the people that you work with and the people around you.
Absolutely.
It's a shame me and you couldn't work together. I know we would always have a blast because even in the dugout, it was a lot of fun. Down in the bullpen working together was.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It was, man, those were some of the best times of my life. And, absolutely, I wish we could work together further. Absolutely, baseball-wise. Man, I absolutely wish, we could come back somehow and do our thing back at Georgetown. Absolutely, it would be a blast, and glad to be up here having this conversation, talking with good old Tiger Nation out there. So,
yeah, especially since you are in Lexington, so you're fairly local, but work, like you said, it keeps you busy. You really don't get a chance and an opportunity to come up here, I would say, as often as you would like to watch the Tigers play live. Correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, I try and make my rounds around town. I actually cover the Georgetown area for what I'm doing, so worked out perfectly. So I try and really come around whenever I'm in the area, whether it's just kind of stopping by, seeing coaches, seeing obviously former teammates and everything like that. Just checking up on the team, obviously trying to stay as close as I can. I've spent a good 5 years here at Georgetown, lived every minute, so it's always good to come back home and kind of get your bearings.
I completely agree. I mean, me, you, and Tap both spent a little more than that traditional 4-year route in college. But
we loved it so much we didn't want to go home.
Ain't that the truth? So with that, Eric Thrower, that's a 4-pitch walk from Morris to Thrower. So Thrower will go ahead and take a stroll down to first base, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter now for the Tigers, Deshaun Moore. He actually walked in his first at-bat, so no actual at-bats for him in this ball game. Morris out on the mound in his third inning of work. Time called by Deshaun at the plate. Wouldn't anticipate Deshaun waiting too long to swing and get his hacks in during this at-bat. So, Acosta, for you, or Nick, I guess, I don't know, what do people call you nowadays? Nick, Acosta, what's it look like being outside of that baseball realm?
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the weirdest things I've ever been called, believe it or not, was Mr. Acosta.
Mr. Acosta, interesting.
Yep, what they say, it's don't call me Mr. Acosta, that's my father. That's kind of, what it felt like growing up a little bit. But, no, I go by Nick, I guess, in the professional sense or, anything like that. I know at Georgetown and sports in general normally run on a last name basis. So definitely got a little bit of used to, and, everybody will mix in a Nicholas every now and again.
Interesting, Nicholas.
Yep.
That pitch out right there by Morris brings the count to 1-1 strike. Once again, they're definitely worried about these base runners for the Tigers. Have you noticed that? I mean, you've been here pretty much all day, right, since game one. Have you noticed kind of – because, once again, you were a former catcher for Georgetown. Have you noticed, like, their pitching staff really gravitating towards the base runners? And there you see it again.
Yeah, obviously as a catcher you take a lot of that into perspective and everything, and definitely very, very big part of the game, especially when putting a lot of pressure on the pitchers. Hopefully, I know, obviously, probably a whole lot of stuff hasn't changed since the last year that I've been. Oh, foul ball straight back, but since I've been out of here. But I know we always stayed very aggressive on the base paths. Obviously, it's kind of a two-way street. It puts a little bit of pressure on the opposing pitcher, which also helps out the batter in turn. Trying to get some runs scored.
Mm-hmm. And you talked about that too, putting pressure on the pitcher, but not only on the pitcher, but on the defense as well. You saw Atwood over at first base overthrow it.
Absolutely. Oh, right there in the dirt. First baseman blocked it.
And yeah, there you see Atwood again, first baseman keeping that one in front. But it's definitely a double-edged sword, right? You can put the pressure on the defense to play catch, and really take care of the baseball. But on the opposite end, you can really get yourself going out over your skis and getting tossed out in situations where they're not necessary.
Absolutely.
That ball driven into left field by Moore right there for a single. Tigers now have runners at first and second base with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. A good opportunity for the Tigers to go ahead and take that first lead.
Very good.
Let's take a quick look at the courtesy bat boy that we have right here. That's actually David Rojas's. That was David Rojas's nephew coming to be a part of the dugout and part of the team. So I know he's going to be fully enjoying that. I know that's always a lot of fun.
We love bat boys. Anybody that wants to be a part of the team, very open. I remember one of our professors, her son was our bat boy when Ben, as I should call you now, not Roby, when you and I were there, and we absolutely loved our bat boys. They loved the team, everything. They always bring great energy.
Yeah, Miss Gift was the professor here. She's essentially the team mom, I would say. Everybody would say takes care of a lot of these players.
Absolutely. Definitely a second mom to many, considering again that 80 to 85% of Georgetown's roster typically is from Southern California. So I know it's again one of the very many reasons why I love being out here. Fell in love with the place. The people are just absolutely outstanding.
I couldn't agree more. Everything you're saying, I just couldn't agree more, apparently. But you are saying a lot of things. The people out here, the professors, they really do show that that care and consideration for you as an individual. So it makes it easy to want to stay and be out here. Shodi Suda now at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pardon me, 3 balls, 1 strike is the count. Does check his swing right there. Home plate umpire is going to say he did go. What are your thoughts on that, Nick? Do you think he went on that one?
It was pretty close, but, again, as a catcher and everything, having that good relationship with an umpire definitely kind of helps. But with that being said, I thought the call might have been a little late, but that's just my opinion. Oh, there you go.
That ball driven in the 3-4 hole right there. Runner at third is going to stop as that ball comes into home plate. And so it's a 2-strike knock right there by Shodi Suda. Tigers now have the bases juiced with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. And that'll bring up big hitter in the lineup, number 30, Justin Brote, to the lineup. How effective do you think our senior year would? I take that back. My senior year, your junior year, would have been in that 40-plus win season with Justin Brote in the lineup.
Well, again, I wish I could have seen a lot more games with his bat in the lineup. Just saying that for this year, I've seen him swing the bat around, and he's very, very dangerous with that bat, as we've seen earlier today. Just unfortunate with the wind. It looks like the wind's dying down a little bit. Don't want to call anything, but you know what they say, third time's a charm. But no, yeah, absolutely. I know that that year, that 40-plus win year, was definitely just a crazy team already. Very talented, very team-oriented, everything, and it absolutely just would have thrown a whole nother dangerous weapon within our lineup, and we were already stacked 1-9, and everybody on the bench as well. Yeah,
me and Eric Thrower actually talked about that a little bit as well in terms of that season and just kind of how it played out. And I've talked about it a lot on the broadcast, but yeah, definitely a powerful tool in Justin Brote, not only in the box, but also we saw that defensive play when Cisneros almost overthrew him at 6'7".
Yes.
That ball actually getting by, and that should be the first run of the game for the Tigers as Eric Thrower comes across on that wild pitch.
I like it.
I mean, you'll take it when you can get it, right? Whenever you can get the lead, you're not gonna go ahead and complain about that.
Absolutely, and I'm not exactly sure if the viewers at home, they're watching live stream, correct?
Yeah, they're watching it live.
I don't know, but a whole lot. Runner at third base, not exactly sure who he is, just because I've been here for so long. But if the viewers at home did notice, again, keeping the pressure on the base paths, it took a very, very large round at third, trying to force something. But I think it's breaking open right here. So let's see what happens.
That's the plan, right? You can't break it open unless you strike first, and Tigers are able to do that in this one. They did it last game too. So Justin Brodt up at the plate now, 2 balls, no strikes, 2 runners on, really looking to make things happen. Takes that pitch for a strike, count now 2 balls and 1 strike. And to your point, Acosta, if you're a fan at home right now, look at Deshaun Moore over at third base. He is not taking that lightly. He is extremely aggressive on the base pass. That 2-1 pitch, chop to the first baseman Atwood. He's going to collect that and step on first base for the first out of the inning. That one a little bit unfortunate right there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but you know what? Going back to a good quality that very successful 40-plus win team had was a lot of teammate accountability here. So very interested to see if Mr. Val Stamler here can pick him up and do a job here for the Tigers.
I hope he can. He definitely has the bat to do it. In Game 1, he drove in the first run of the ball game, showed Asuda coming around to eventually score to give the Tigers that first run. And a big spot here early on in the game. And, again, this is a 7-inning ball game, right? So how much different is it between a 9-inning game and a 7-inning game in terms of pace of play?
It's a lot of people wouldn't think 2 innings would make a whole lot difference, but, man, it really does. I don't know what it is about it. Oh, high hopper! Look at that.
That one over the shortstop, and that should score too.
There we go.
Rounding third is going to be.
There we go.
Is going to be Yasuda, and that does break it open
Very
right there.
good.
Stamler with a double and a hustle double at that, as he finds a way to get in over there at second base. So that'll bring the score 3-0 in favor of the Tigers on that high chopper right there.
Oh yeah.
Past the shortstop.
Yep.
That brings up Duarte at the plate.
Shout out to the grounds crew.
Shout out to the grounds crew. A lot of these guys in between games don't really have a break to collect and eat and gather themselves. And me and Nick, both were those guys in between games just to really lock it down.
On.
Runner taking off right there. And he is going to be thrown out on that attempt right there. There you see Tigers being a little bit too aggressive. Stamler getting tossed out.
That double-edged sword we were talking about. But you know what? It's all right. I think the job definitely got done. Will it cost the Tigers? Hopefully not. We'll see how it plays out. But you know what? You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
Those classic cliches.
Yep.
But, yeah, no, I mean, again, double-edged sword. You took 3, or you just scored 2 more runs. For me personally, I don't necessarily agree with that decision in the fact that you have momentum on your side, right? You had bases loaded, high chopper, 2 runs scored. You have that momentum. And me and Tom Taplin were talking about that earlier, is momentum plays such a big factor in this ballgame. Duarte taking that pitch.
Yep.
That pitch was low, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little low.
But as Tap would say, the umpires do have a better view than we do, right? And they are human. They do make mistakes.
Oh, yeah. That's what makes this game great.
Definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The umpires can sometimes make a game.
Well, just like I guess mentioned earlier a little bit, as a catcher, taking everything into perspective, having built in that, I guess, rapport you could call it, or that little relationship you do have with the umpire doing your job correctly, it definitely pays off. I know, I've definitely not made some umpires happy if some block balls got past me and they did my job as backup instead. So, but.
I got what you mean. So with that strikeout right there for Morris, that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The score now 3-0 in favor of Georgetown. They not only got the lead, but they extended it, had a big inning right there. It's so important for them to do that. But now it's more important for Cisneros out on the mound in his 4th inning of work to go out and put up a shutdown inning.
Absolutely. Just like we were just talking about, it's all about momentum. Just keeping the momentum on your side right now, throwing up a big 0.
Yep. So with that being said, Nick, we do appreciate you for being up here, having you on the call. I do appreciate it. I know you were a little bit nervous as I was talking with you in between games, but I do appreciate you being up here. Is there anything that you want to say to the people back home, to the families, to the friends that are watching, because I know a lot of the guys that we played with, they're watching. I know they're judging us and whatnot. But,
man, I did not even think about that. I'll probably be getting some texts or phone calls tonight, but you know what? This has definitely been an absolute blast. I appreciate you having me on here and letting me kind of talk to the fans at home and everything, and kind of give my 2 cents. I'll tell you what, I wish we had this one when I was there in school a little bit longer. But yeah, go Tiger Nation, go Gers. I hope they get hot and get rolling, and let's see what they can do. Take home another W on this senior weekend.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yep, take care.
Well, folks, there you heard it. That was Nick Acosta up on the call with me in the press box. It was a pleasure, as always, just to catch up with him, see what he's doing, see how he's doing, and just talk a little bit of baseball. A lot of these guys, for spending a 45-plus game season with them, you get to know them, their hearts, their character, what they like, what they don't like, and so it's a lot of fun to catch back up after a year and a half of just not doing that. It's a different lifestyle. So I do appreciate Nick and Tom coming up here to talk with me and keep me entertained, so I'm not necessarily alone on the call, and hopefully we can get Ryan Garner up here as well in hopefully the top of the 5th inning to catch up with him. So Cisneros really pumping it in there, delivers that fastball in the inner half for strike number 1. Count now at 1 ball and 1 strike to the 2-hitter Baldock, the right fielder, now in the box for the Saints. That one chopped over to O'Neill at third. He's going to collect it. Good strong throw over to first. Wild throw over at first base. Collected by Brote, but it did pull him off the bag. So with that being said, the Saints do get a leadoff runner on that throwing error by O'Neill. Now at the plate is going to be number 15, Atwood, the first baseman. That one down in the dirt. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. It was the first pitch, striking that ball down in the dirt, brings it to even 1 ball and 1 strike. Over at first base is Baldock. Atwood, 0 for 1 on the day, struck out swinging in his first at-bat. It's his 3rd strikeout of the day. Having a little bit of trouble at the plate. But one of the better hitters for Thomas More. So the staff for Georgetown has done an excellent job really shutting him down. And really all throughout the 3, 4, 5 hitters in the Saints lineup. So it's a good thing to see with that Tiger staff, especially as the game and season has progressed, really seeing the staff pick up the offense. Atwood stepping back in the box. The 1-1 count, nobody out. Runner at first. Cisneros on the mound looking for another double play. Pickoff attempt instead. Based on the fans' reaction from what I'm hearing up in the press box, that was a lot closer than the previous ones. It's good to see that we do have a handful of families out here for our seniors. Once again, we're celebrating 14 seniors on this senior day just after this second game right here. Slider missing down and away for ball number 2. Atwood now with the hitter's count. Cisneros on the mound needing to do a good job of keeping the ball down in the zone, finding a way to get Atwood to hopefully roll a ball over and let his defense work and turn a double play. Another pickoff attempt right there, no avail. It's interesting, as the sun starts to set down towards that right field line, the sun's going to become a little bit of a factor on balls that are hit to right field. And it seems as though it's either been one way or the other. A lot of hits to left, a lot of flyouts to right. That one popped up to O'Neill over at third base. Underneath it, and he'll make the catch for the first out. But it's going to start to become a factor as plays start happening towards second and third base. You see Krenrich at the plate right there, kind of kind of shining away from the sun so he can see the sign from Coach Baumfeld. And it'll be interesting to see if that plays a factor. Once again, this 7-inning game, it's gone by pretty quick so far. I don't want to jinx it or anything with the broadcaster's curse and whatnot, but it's been a quick game so far. And so as the game continues to progress, it may be a factor towards the later innings. Cisneros missing that one up for ball number 1. And you see also home plate umpire fanning the batter to get back in the box, really trying to speed up the pace of play of this game. Another pickoff attempt, no avail. You see Brodt underhanding it to Cisneros, once again because of that sun. You don't want to toss it back to your pitcher, him miss it, and accidentally get hit in the face and taking him out of the game. Cisneros delivers that one on the outer half for strike number 1. Count now even, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, runner at first. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Pearson at the plate now. Pearson at the plate, 0 for 1 on the day. The ground ball. I'd say a ball kind of like chopped over in between Krenrich and Cisneros. Krenrich coming up to collect that, throwing it over to first for an out in his first at-bat. That's when we were talking a little bit about being an umpire, and as a hitter, you really don't have that luxury to do that. 3-1 pitch. Catches the corner on the outside for strike number 2. And we got 3 balls, 2 strikes. Over at first is Baldock. Pearson at the plate. See Cisneros. The pickoff attempt once again. Full count with 1 out. Good hitter at the plate. A lot of back control. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a run and hit here. As a ball, the runner would get the bag anyways. That one popped up instead. Skied in the infield. Who's going to take it? Justin Brodt looks like he's calling everybody off. He will make the catch for the second out of the inning. So good job by Cisneros right there, getting that pop out with the full count for the second out. That'll bring up the second baseman, number 20, Martin, to the plate. Martin 1 for 1 on the day, doubled to right center. That was that hard line drive over Shoto Yasuda, Luke Torino at second base in that right center gap. Hustle double, got to second, eventually moved over to third, but Tiger defense able to shut him down. The 1-0 pitch by Cisneros. Comes set and delivers. That one skied. Brodt at first giving chase. It will go foul and out of play down that first base side. This count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's take a little bit of an update for softball at the Tigers softball complex. Going into the top of the 7th inning, if I'm not mistaken, the Tigers were up 6-4, but now the score is tied 6-6 against Shawnee State University. Tigers have 2 outs with the runner at second base in that matchup. Tigers won the first game 10-8 in Game 1 against Shawnee State. At the plate, Martin calling time. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. That ball lined in the 5-6 hole right there. Good enough for a hit for Martin. He's 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a double. So a little bit of life here for the Saints of Thomas More University. Couple hits right here causing a little bit of trouble for the Tigers. Nobody actively warming up down in the bullpen, and by actively warming up, I of course mean not throwing down to a catcher. We do have one guy getting his arm and his legs loose with some bands and some green balls. That brings up the left fielder Reynolds. to the plate with runners at first and second. That breaking ball catching just enough of that corner for strike number 1. Generous call by the home plate umpire right there. Reynolds at the plate 0 for 1 on the day with the ground ball back to Cisneros in his first at-bat. Swung through that one right there. Now down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Cisneros looking for another punch out right here. This is a big situation right here. As any runs, any more momentum, as we've talked about all day, is trying to stop any of that. Krenrich doing a good job keeping that one in front. Going to throw it over to first to complete the punch out. Strikeout, excuse me, and that'll do it for the Saints in the top of the 4th inning. They do get 2 hits, no runs. Scored 1 error by the Tigers. Due up for your Tigers here in the bottom of the 4th. The 6, 7, 8 hitters, Luke Torino, Brandon Krenrich, Chris O'Neill to the plate, looking to continue to extend the lead, tack on a couple more runs to give Cisneros up on the mound a little bit more cushion. We're going to be back here shortly. And in the meantime, just enjoy this wonderful commercial brought to you by Georgetown College. You're watching Tiger Baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch.
Here's how this will work. You'll watch this commercial, then look up Georgetown College. No, not that one. A Christian college in Kentucky. You'll be impressed with the school and your scholarship. You'll watch GC win yet another national championship with lifelong friends. You'll attend Oxford University. You'll take a class with that professor who blows your mind. You'll find your major and your career. You'll get internships and graduate, and your Georgetown degree will get you that first job or into grad school. You'll remember this as the moment that shaped your life. You're welcome. Think different. Think GC. Apply now at georgetowncollege.edu.
Welcome back, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field, home of your Georgetown College Tigers. They're currently up in this one against the Saints of Thomas More University, 3-0, as we go into the bottom of the 3rd. Still out on the mound in his 3rd inning of work for the Saints is going to be Mitchell Morris. Morris getting ready to throw his 50th pitch of the ball game so far through 3 innings. Torino at the plate for the Tigers. Skies that one into shallow left field right there. Left fielder is going to call off Benzinger, and Reynolds is going to go ahead and make that catch for the first out. So after a bunt attempt by Torino right there, he ends up skying one for an out over in left. And that'll bring up the catcher for the Tigers, number 21, Brandon Krenrich. This will be the second game that Krenrich has caught back-to-back, especially after Manderson, the other catcher that the Tigers do have, threw once again a good 7-inning game right there. Krenrich hit by that pitch. Will go ahead and take a walk over to first base, and he will have a courtesy runner in Jacob DeZarn to take his place as well. That'll bring up the third baseman, number 25, Chris O'Neill, to the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day. The fly out over to right. O'Neill at the plate need to make sure he stays out of a ground ball double play. So he needs to find something up in the zone, something that he can drive, hard line drive, or a fly ball that he can drive deep into the gaps or down the lines. Especially being up in this situation, 3 runs to nothing. The pressure is on Morris on the mound and the offense of Thomas More to score some runs. So you can afford to take a couple of pitches, make sure you get the one that you want, and put a good swing on it. Pickoff attempt by Morris. Once again, over on those bases. It's worked successfully for them once in in picking a guy off, quote unquote. I say in quotes because of the throwing error by Atwood over the shortstop into left field, giving Torino that second base. But O'Neill at the plate, 1-0 count. Morris delivers. That one must have missed outside. Again, not really sure. That one looks good over the plate, but it does favor the Tigers, 2-0. Over at first base, DeZarn does have a pretty good-sized lead. He will take off on the pitch. Throw from Caruso is going to be in time to get the punch out right there. I thought he might have gotten his hand underneath there. But he'll be thrown out over there at second base. That was a strike. That was a strike on that stolen base attempt right there. So that foul ball brings the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs here, nobody on. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball right there. That one, O'Neill hit the ball dock over and right, and he'll make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the 4th. They go 3 up, 3 down on that pickoff. That successful caught stealing by the catcher Caruso right there. So that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the 4th. So we go into the top of the 5th for the Saints. The 7, 8, 9 hitters, Flick, Caruso, and Benzinger, will be up to bat. Cisneros going out on the mound for his 5th inning of work. And we should also be getting a special guest here, Ryan Gardner, coming up to the press box here shortly for his little interview during the press box, and he'll be on the call with me here shortly. So I'm going to step away for just a moment as we get him prepared. Once again, folks, I want to thank you all for tuning in and joining us today. It is senior day, and it's been a pleasure to have all you with us so far and continuing to be with us. We're going to be back here shortly. You're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field. The 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Saints up to bat. That's going to be Flick currently stepping into the box. And we do have a special guest, and Ryan Gardner with us here today. Ryan, how are you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ben. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with you, and a little bit different than the other guys in Tom Taplin and Nick Acosta is that we're actually roommates, for those of you at home who did not know. So me and Ryan get to talk occasionally, and I say occasionally because, Ryan, what do you do for a living? Just explain to the people.
So I'm a CPA in Lexington. Graduated from Georgetown 2 years ago. Then I got my master's at UK in accounting and took the CPA exam while I was there and passed it all. And now I am working as an accountant in Lexington.
And so you can imagine, folks, especially during this time of year in April, what it's looking like for him as a CPA. I know he leaves very early in the morning and comes home very late at night, working 12, 13-hour shifts. So I know it's a grind.
Yeah, tax season's a grind. Kind of prepared me playing here. The long hours that we put in on the baseball field kind of prepared me for the tax world.
Now, isn't that the truth? Can you kind of explain, like when we were playing, what did that day-to-day look like? Just run me through a day of being a Georgetown College baseball player.
So in the fall, when we were having our long practices and workouts, we would have weights at 4:30 in the morning. So I would get up about 4 a.m., go to weights. Then I would have class all day, try to find time to eat lunch, get some of my homework done. Then we would come out here and have practice for a few hours, and then I would go help out in team study hall, and then try to find time to finish my own homework, and then try to get to bed at a reasonable time to get up and do it all over again the next day.
Now, isn't that a lot? So Ryan's a little bit different in the fact that he was business finance type of major, but that's kind of just the schedule that our student athletes go through here at the college, really regardless of what sport they play. Just a lot of demand put on them, but it really does prepare you for life after college.
Yeah. I don't know that I would be able to get through tax season with the hours that we work without have gone through the schedule that we went through here at Georgetown.
Good punch out right there by Keon Cisneros, dotting that one on that outside corner for the third strikeout of the game for him. That brings up the 8-hitter for the Saints, number 18, and the catcher, Caruso, to the plate. So you were at first base, right, for the Tigers, but you also battled a little bit of injury senior year. Can you go into a little bit about what that was like and your process kind of recovering through that?
Yeah, so I started off my senior year playing first base. Then the opening weekend of conference play, I pulled my hamstring, kind of set me back a little bit. Not the way I wanted my senior year to go, but recovered from that. Then I DH'd a lot while I was in rehab because I couldn't really run around much. So I just hit it and then kind of like halfway jogged to first and get a runner for me. Then I recovered a little bit and moved back to the outfield because we had another guy, Ryan Garner, came in and played first base. So I just made the move out to the outfield for the rest of the year. Not the way I really planned my senior year going, but it all worked out.
It did work out in the end. I know you hit extremely high in conference that year, but before we get there, that was Caruso with that infield hit, squeaking just by Chris O'Neill over there at third. He will have a courtesy runner that's going to be Daniels, number 4, for the Saints to go ahead and run for him. So throughout your career, Ryan, you were a conference hitter, man. We used to say that all the time. It's conference Gardner. What was the change for you mindset-wise or in general as to why you hit so much better in conference than in just normal regular season play?
Yeah, that was kind of everybody's thing. First weekend conference play, everybody's like, oh, conference Gardner, it's time for you to come out. I don't know what it was, but I guess that conference teams just kind of made me step it up a notch and always ready to go when those conference teams came in. Apparently,
and it did wonders. I mean, especially for the team, it was a lot of fun, and you hit really well. So, yeah. Well, whatever the case may be, conference is definitely one of those times throughout the year when you want to be hitting well, right? Because that's when it really matters in terms of being successful as the Mid-South Conference, one of the better teams, better conferences out there in the nation. Wouldn't you say? What are your –
Yeah, the Mid-South Conference, every year since I've been a part of the Georgetown program, has always been one of the premier conferences in the country. Every year they have several teams ranked in the top 10, 15 in the country. This year I know Cumberland's is up there.
Yeah, Cumberland's is actually ranked third overall last time I checked, and then Freed Hardeman 19th. I know Freed's new to the conference this year. They got added last year, but definitely a lot of tough competition.
Yeah, Mid-South Conference all around has just always been very competitive, always has the top-notch talent in the country.
Absolutely. And one thing I guess we didn't really touch on, so Tom Taplin, he's from New York. Nick Acosta, he's from California. We do have a time call here. It looks like a ball did escape down from the Tiger bullpen on that side. So time is called. And at the plate, actually, right now, is the leadoff hitter for the Saints, number 17, the third baseman, Casey Nowak, to the plate. But so we have guys from New York, California. So where are you from? Can you tell the people where you're from?
I'm from Paducah, Kentucky, small town in far western Kentucky. Went to McCracken County High School. About 4 hours from here in Georgetown.
And it's so interesting, right? We always talk about a lot of these California guys coming in and recruiting, but you started here at Georgetown your first year, freshman year, came in and ready to play, and I really just had to kind of continue to earn your spot every single year.
Yeah, I came in my freshman year, and I was on JV the fall of my freshman year and kind of earned my way up. Had a good fall that freshman year on JV, earned my spot on varsity, and then kind of got lucky, had a few injuries on the varsity team, and kind of worked my way in my freshman year. And the conference Garner started then because I got my first weekend of conference play.
That's interesting to know. I mean, me and Ryan, we've talked about this before. I mean, being roommates, this stuff does come up. Wow, generous call right there on the inner half and down. Georgetown fans here definitely excited about that, but neither dugout really happy about that as far as just the inconsistencies that we're seeing from the guy behind the plate. Nevertheless, that one does favor the Tigers right there. So no whack. Now with a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, with a runner at second base in the form of Daniels. So Cisneros really needing to get a shutdown inning right here, get his offense back in the dugout so they can continue to extend the lead. So, Ryan, we talked a little bit, and well, everybody knows right now, if they haven't, this is senior weekend for the Tigers. So we do have a lot of families, and you being here for 4 years, what was senior weekend like for you? That one chopped over to Brode at first base, and they won't get the third and final out. Apparently, he reached base before Cisneros was able to get there. Coach Baumfeld definitely going to have a conversation about that one. Grounds crew, the umpires in this matchup, not making any friends. But, again, that's not their job to make friends here in the ball field. But it's a tough call right there, and it will stand. So the Saints now have runners at first and third with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Coach Baumfeld still speaking his piece. Looks like he is going to be.
Yeah, Coach Baumfeld hasn't been happy with some of the calls here today.
No, and honestly, neither team has. Head coach for the Saints, Jeremy Martin, not too happy either. It's been a little bit of a battle, right, especially with the close games. Although the scoreline 7-2 in Game 1, not necessarily close. I mean, you can tell the feel of the game was close. And here's what you're going to see. Coach Baumfeld is going to go out and have a conversation with his pitcher, Cisneros, right now. And I have a feeling Coach Baumfeld, he'll be out there for a while until one of the umpires goes up and talks to him so that he can have a little bit more of a conversation with the umpire outside of just getting tossed and ejected. But while that goes ahead and plays out, Ryan, let's talk a little bit about senior weekend. You've been through 4 of them already. What does it mean for you? What has it meant for you when you were playing here?
Senior weekend, my senior year was actually the first weekend that I was coming off of my injury, so I kind of worked in a little bit in the lineup, trying to get ready for the conference tournament. Got a couple of at-bats. My family was here most every weekend, but that weekend they all got to come in town. So it was nice that all my family was here, got to spend it with them while I was rehabbing my injuries.
Yeah, it's good. I know a lot of fans, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of players don't have their family here today, and so we do thank you and appreciate everybody who's tuning in to the broadcast so that you can watch your seniors and celebrate with them. That one popped up into shallow right field right there. Luke Torino going to go ahead and make the catch. Huge momentum generator right there for the Tigers as Torino is able to go ahead and make that grab. Tigers still up in this one 3-0. As we go into the bottom of the 5th inning, due up for your Tigers, 9-1-2 thrower Moore and Yasuda to the plate. Looks like Morris is still going to be out on the mound for the Saints in for his 5th inning of work. So, Ryan, before I let you go, is there anything that you want to say back home to the people, like back home to your family at home, to our friends that are watching the senior day broadcast? Is there anything you want to?
Oh, man, I'm sure a bunch of the old guys that I played with are watching right now. I miss all of them. The times here at Georgetown were a lot of fun, made a lot of close friends, guys that from all over the country. Hope we get to come out here sometime and see us.
Hopefully they can, especially when we open it back up to full-time visitors, everybody having to come out and whatnot. But, Ryan, we do thank you and appreciate you for hopping on the broadcast with us, and I'll see you at home.
All right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, there you heard it, folks. Ryan Gardner, he's former first baseman for the Tigers, graduated in my year in 2019, got the opportunity to celebrate with him and still get the opportunity to get to know him and catch up with him as we live together and whatnot. As far as I'm aware of, I think that's it for our alumni guests coming on the broadcast today. Hopefully, if there are a few more out there down in the stands, we can get them up here to talk. But as far as I'm aware of, those are the only 3 that we have today. Once again, Tom Taplin, former pitcher, Nick Acosta, former catcher, and, of course, Ryan Gardner, who we just talked with, former first baseman for the Tigers. Well, as we get ready for the bottom of the 5th inning, Eric Thrower to lead it off for Georgetown. He has no official at-bats on the day so far. He has 1 walk in his first appearance, and he'll take that one down at the bottom of the zone for strike number 1. And you can see as this game is progressing, everybody here at the ballpark a little frustrated with the umpires, but once again, they're human. They're trying to do their best. Do they make mistakes? Of course. Do we all make mistakes? Yeah, but it's part of the game, and that really teaches you how to adapt and overcome in life. And so that's one of those skills that life always teaches you, how to adapt and overcome. So thrower now down on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hits that one into left center field. That one, both fielders giving chase. Center fielder unable to come up with that one. That's Flick trying to get there. Eric Thrower looks like he's going to truck around to go to third base, and he will end up going to third base. Let's see the play over at third that does get by the third baseman, so he's in there with a sliding triple to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning, and there you can get a good look. Him being absolutely exhausted after that one. It's a great piece of hitting up over the plate, 2 strikes, really driving that one into deep left center field. Can't talk about it enough as far as that leadership coming from the bats of Krenrich and Thrower in big situations to lead off innings to really get and continue the momentum for the Tigers. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter for Georgetown, number 2, the shortstop, Deshaun Moore, to the plate. That one down in the dirt, blocked by Caruso right there, keeping that one from reaching the backstop. Having Thrower just walk in and get an additional run for the Tigers. Moore 1 for 1 on the day, walked in his first at-bat, single to left in his second. Looks like it's going to be another single right there and an RBI over the head of the second baseman. Deshaun Moore trucking over to see if he can get into second base, and he does safely. Back-to-back hits for the Tigers, back-to-back extra base hits for Georgetown. Now ahead in this one 4-0 against Thomas More. Looks like there is going to be a little bit of a pitching change right here. You see a lot of frustration from Morris right there, not even letting his coach Martin get to the mound before he just flicks it up and tosses it to him. I know that's not going to be a pretty conversation when Martin gets back into the dugout in terms of that disrespect that you are showing your coach when you do that. So he's definitely going to have an earful after that one. Martin leaves this game 4 runs given up on 5 hits. He still is on the hook for Deshaun Moore over there out at second base. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and when we come back, we're going to have the name and number of the right-handed relief pitcher for the Saints. You're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, here to Robert N. Wilson Field. Tigers up in this one 4-0 after back-to-back hits, extra base hits for the Tigers, tacking on another run for Georgetown. In for relief of Morris is going to be Ty Grimes, number 2 for the Saints. That breaking ball hit Shota Yasuda. Yasuda doesn't quite want to take the bag. He was just going to stand in there, but that is a hit by pitch on the first pitch by Grimes. Grimes coming into this matchup with a 3.86 ERA. It's his 10th appearance. He's given up 12 runs on 21 hits in 18 and 2/3 innings pitched. And with that hit batter right there, that'll be his third of the year. There you see Coach Martin going to have a little conversation with the home plate umpire. Part of this probably due to the fact that the batter at the plate, Yasuda, didn't try and get out of the way, but also didn't even register that it hit him. So Martin probably frustrated about that call right there, and is just going to have a little conversation with the home plate umpire. So at the plate now for the Tigers is going to be number 30, Justin Brote. Brote 0 for 2 on the day, flied out to right in his first at-bat and grounded out to first in his second at-bat. Looking to make things happen here with nobody out and runners at first and second base here in the bottom of the fifth. Grimes long hold, delivers the 0-0 pitch. Thought that fastball on the outer half was going to get called for a strike. It was not. So the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Caruso, a little puzzled. Grimes kind of just accepting it. Saints in a tough spot right here as they do not have the favor of the umpires. But honestly, I would say neither team has the favor of the umpires in this matchup. Both teams frustrated with the officiating. That went down in the dirt. Caruso doing a good job keeping that in front. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Thomas More, nobody warming up down in their pen. Brote with the 2-0 count, good hitters count. Wind has died down here at Robert N. Wilson Field. You see a pickoff attempt right there. Gets by Benzinger right there. And Moore is going to go ahead and take third base. Shota Yasuda is going to remain at first. So now Tigers have runners on the corners with nobody out. It's a risky play right there for Moore to take off as that ball didn't trickle away from Benzinger too far, but it was far enough for him to feel comfortable to take the bag, and he did. That pitch driven deep by Brote right there. Baldock in right field, going to try and get behind it to make the throw. They are going to go to second base. That will score another run for the Tigers on that sac fly from the bat of Justin Brote. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Brote doing an excellent job. It's a 2-0 count. He sees a pitch he likes. He's able to hit it hard, and he drives it deep enough to get that sac fly and score that runner in from third. It's exactly what you should be doing in a situation like that. You're waiting for a hitter's count. You get one, and it's your opportunity to drive a baseball. And unfortunately for him, balls just have not been falling as of late. And Baldock has definitely had a lot of work over there in right field when Brote's been up at the plate. Stamler now up for Georgetown. That breaking ball right there, slow off-speed pitch, gets Stamler to chase and bring the count to even 1 ball and 1 strike. A little bit of a runner call right there by the defense. Yasuda over at first base. No serious attempt to try and steal a bag. Stamler at the plate, 1 for 2 on the day, popped out to left. Then he doubled the left center. Pickoff attempt right here. Yasuda gets back in time. Grimes coming set once again, getting ready to deliver the 1-1 pitch. Another pickoff attempt yet again by Grimes over at first base. Count still remains 1-1. A couple pickoff attempts over at first by Grimes. Not a lot of action happening at the plate. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball. Good on the outer half for strike number 2. Now with 2 strikes, Stamler going to have to battle, find a way to get on. Talk about it often enough. 2 strikes, getting hits with 2 strikes and in runs with 2 outs is definitely a key to any team's offense. And the Tigers so far today, both in Game 1 and today, have been successful in doing so. Grimes with a high fastball right there, trying to get Stamler to chase, and he doesn't. But again, that pitch right there is still an effective pitch, as though it does change the eye level of the hitter at the plate and gives you the option to throw another breaking ball to see if you can get him to swing. And Stamler swinging at a breaking ball earlier in the count may fall susceptible to this if that breaking ball is good and hits that bottom of the zone. There you see a breaking ball again, and that'll do it for Stamler as he gets struck out right there for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the 5-hitter for the Tigers and Josh Duarte to the plate now with 2 outs, runner at first base. Duarte 0 for 2 on the day in his first at-bat, a hard line out to the shortstop, and then he struck out swinging in his second at-bat. Looking for a little bit of redemption right here. There was another pickoff attempt by Grimes. And if you're the pitcher Grimes right here, I do understand Georgetown, they've been running a lot, but your focus still needs to remain at the plate to lock those, to really shut down those hitters. Another pickoff attempt once again. If we can get at home, if anybody's interested, to get a pickoff counter from this point forward to see how many times Grimes will pick off for the remainder of the day. And to be honest, a pickoff counter at the beginning of the day, starting Game 1, would have been interesting as well. That ball chopped over to the second baseman, Martin, and he'll throw it over for the third out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But not before some damage has been done. Tigers do end up scoring 2 more runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Back-to-back extra base hits and a sac fly. Traditional baseball that you see gives Tigers 2 additional runs and puts the score at 5-0 in favor of the Tigers. As we get ready to go into the top of the 6th inning, the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Saints are going to be up to bat. That's Atwood, Pearson, and Martin to the plate. Looks like Cisneros, his day has ended, and he's passed off the ball to another senior that we'll be highlighting in just a little bit, Keon Taylor. Keon Taylor looking for 6 outs right here to really put away the Thomas More Saints. I'm going to step away once again for just a moment, folks. We do appreciate you all for tuning in and joining us. We will be back here shortly, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Tiger Baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back here, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field, home of your Tigers. They're leading this one 5-0 against the Thomas More Saints. A little bit of updated action around the Georgetown College sports world. The Tigers currently, the football team for the Tigers, currently up against the University of Pikeville 32-16 in their last regular game of the season, and I meant to check, and I need to still pull it up, the score for the Tiger softball over at the Tiger softball complex. That one popped up and out of play. We do have a pinch hitter for the Saints right here. So in for Atwood is going to be Brendan Baker, number 5, now pinch hitting for Atwood. The 0-2 pitch. That one just missing that outside corner. Krenrich, there you saw him really trying to stick that pitch right there. Does miss outside, so the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Taylor delivering that slider, just slipping out of his hand. Definite mistake right there by him. He knows it. But as a pitcher, whenever you do make that type of obvious mistake where it just misses, those are pitches where you can really disregard. They slip out of your hand, and it does happen, right? So if you're a young viewer at home and that ever happens, don't necessarily get on yourself for every time you miss a pitch, especially if a ball slips out of your hands, because it does happen, right? It is what it is. But now, after getting way ahead early against the pinch hitter Baker, Keon now has a full count going against him. 3-2 pitch, misses down and away. That's a great at-bat by Baker right there. Really earns his walk. He got a chance to get a couple swings in, and he did. But good plate discipline by him, and he's able to reach first base safely. That'll bring up Pearson to the plate. He takes that fastball in the outer half for strike number 1. Pearson on the day, 0 for 2 with the ground out to the catcher, Krenrich, and then a pop out over to first. Hasn't quite gotten the ball out of the infield in this second ball game. Good slider right there by Keon Taylor. Starts right at that hip for the hitter and then breaks away and catches that outside corner. It's something you're not used to really as a hitter when you first see it. Now, I will say the Saints do have a little bit of an advantage when they had Grogan up on the mound, as typically during the fall, a lot of intra-squads happen, right? So you're facing a lot of your own pitchers. So they have seen this type of sidearm action before. So for them, it's not necessarily new to see this type of pitching. And for them, it's definitely going to be advantageous in this matchup, as Keon Taylor is one of the better pitchers that Georgetown has in their staff. Taylor coming into this one with a 1.8 ERA. He's given up 13 runs, 23 hits in 35 innings pitched. Only 6 walks, 48 strikeouts. Make that 49 on that punch out right there for Pearson. So Taylor, dominant factor on the mound for the Tigers. Definitely key to have in your back pocket if you're the Tigers. That brings up the second baseman, number 20, Martin, to the plate. Martin having himself a good game so far. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a double. That slider nearly clipping him right there. Does get out of the way, so the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Taylor delivers the 1-0 pitch. Another slider right there. Gets Martin to swing, counting out 1-1. And there you see it as so interesting as a hitter. So back-to-back sliders, the first one nearly clipping you as a hitter, and then the second one still starting right at you. But that one getting enough bite and breaks away on that outer half. Really difficult to try and hit. And with Keon and his good fastball to back it up, makes it difficult to hit as a hitter. Martin will call time here. Baker over at first base, only a couple steps off the bag, so not a real base running threat right there. He's really understanding the situation. They're down 5. His run really doesn't matter. And the Saints are going to need a handful of hits to get them not only on the board but really back into this ball game. 2-1 count. Fastball missing outside. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Taylor still in control in this at-bat right here. Even though it is a 3-1 count, the advantage, the pressure really was on Martin at the plate. Keon Taylor will walk him there, though. So now the Saints have runners at first and second base with 1 out. And although it does seem contrary in terms of, okay, the hitter has a 3-1 count. It's typically an offensive count, and I talk about that all the time, but it's also how you can get to that count as well. And you saw that on that 1-0 pitch. Keon Taylor able to get Martin to swing through it and fan through that breaking ball. That really gives you a lot of confidence as a pitcher, and as it should in that type of situation. But nevertheless, we do have runners now at first and second base with 1 out. At the plate right now is going to be the left fielder, number 24, Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 2 on the day, ground out back to Cisneros on the mound, and then he was struck out looking. Taylor with that pitch catches the corner for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Another slider right there. Gets Reynolds. It's a fan at that one, Keon. Now way ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Still, again, in this situation right here, you'd like to see a double play. Get out of the inning clean. Keon Taylor wouldn't mind his second punch out of the inning. The 0-2 pitch. That one popped up and foul over that first base side. Interesting enough, from what I'm recalling, not a lot of foul balls in game number 2 as compared to game number 1. Game number 1, it seemed like balls were flying out of the ballpark all over the place, but now it seems a little bit more contained in game number 2. Now that's a fun thing to keep track of right there. How many foul balls are hit in a single ball game on either team? The 0-2 pitch, and that slider right there doesn't break enough, and it will hit Reynolds right there. So he'll go ahead and easily take first base as he was way down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Taylor now has kind of worked himself into a jam, needing to get out of it right here. Up at the plate is going to be the center fielder, Flick. Count now is 2-0 right now to Flick. Up to bat. Krenner's going to have a little conversation out with Taylor right now, and so is Coach Baumfeld. Going to have a talk with him. The Tigers do have some action down in the bullpen. Now, something like this, even though Tigers, once again, they're up 5-0, it can still cause a little bit of havoc as we talk about momentum. You want to keep that on your side. Even though this is the last game for today, they still have a third game this Sunday at 1 p.m. And that's going to create actually an interesting dynamic too. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But Keon Taylor right here really worked himself into a jam. So walked the first guy. Granted, Baker did put together a good at-bat. Struck out the next. Walked the second guy. And then hit Reynolds, who's now at first. So he definitely has worked himself into a jam, especially now down on the count, 2-0 with Flick at the plate. We'll go around the horn once again for the Saints on the bases. Baker at third, Martin at second, Reynolds at first, and Flick at the plate. Taylor getting set and getting ready to deliver the 2-0 pitch. Catches the corner on the inner half. Good for strike one. It's exactly what you want to see. For Keon Taylor, a lot of sometimes his struggles comes from him not generating his momentum, his direction properly, as he sometimes gets askew and moves a little too far to that third base side and has to throw across his body, as you saw right there, instead of really generating things and his arm and the action going forward. So once again, in a 3-1 spot right here, he's going to need to find a way to take back control. Flick at the plate. And you can tell right there, Flick was going to be taking all the way right there, and it was a good decision as Baker will come across for the first run of the game for the Saints. Keon Taylor needing to find a way to dig deep and get himself out of this situation. I mean, he's more than comfortable in being in these situations, but that's typically when he has to come into them. So that'll bring up the catcher, number 18, Caruso, to the plate. Slider missing up. His count now is 1 ball and no strikes. Taylor with 26 total pitches in the inning so far, 15 balls, 11 strikes. You can see how it's really hurt him so far. Every guy on the base has either gotten on from a walk or hit by pitch. Fastball down, good for strike one. Even walks, hit by pitches, it really starts to generate some momentum for the opposing team. And now with one swing of the bat, this ball game could be tied. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Dugouts from both teams cheering on their mates. For the Tigers, it's going to be Taylor up on the mound. And for the Saints, it's going to be Caruso at the plate. Little check swing there by Caruso, but does not matter as that was a called strike on the outer half. Count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. That one chopped by Caruso, hits himself in the box, and will go foul. The count remains the same, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's turned out to be a gorgeous day and night here at Robert N. Wilson Field. The wind has definitely died down, so balls definitely have that opportunity to fly. But now that it's a little bit cooler outside, balls tend not to travel as far anyway. So take that as you will. 2-2 pitch. Good on the inside corner for strike number 3. Caruso goes down swinging. That's Taylor's second punch out of the inning and the second out of the inning in general. That brings up the 9-hole hitter and the shortstop, Benzinger, to the plate. Benzinger 0 for 2 on the day, flied out to right, ground out back to the pitcher. That ball getting by Krenrich right there. And the base runner Martin will score from third, and every runner will move up on that wild pitch. Thomas Moore now has 2 on the board. Still able to tie this one up with 1 swing of the bat. Taylor needing to shut it down right here. 1-0 count. Benzinger at the plate. Good breaking ball right there over the heart for strike number 1. As these Saints hitters come up, though, it's definitely not – they haven't been as aggressive as they were in game number 1 and even previously in this game. They're really making these Georgetown pitchers work, especially Taylor up on the mound right now. That breaking ball looks good right there, does miss inside, and that's part of a product of being too far away from the zone too often. You're not going to get those close calls like you typically would when you're doing a good job of pumping strikes. I mean, Manderson got a handful of calls that were around the zone because he was throwing a lot of strikes, and he was making it easy for that umpire to just throw up that hand and give it a strike call. That one fouled back into Krenrich as he's trying to find it. So the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got a lot of 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs Runners at second and third. Thomas More with 2 on the board. Taylor comes set. Delivers the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, and he does get it for strike number 3. Works himself into a jam and works himself out of it here in the top of the 6th inning. Saints score 2 runs, no hits, no errors, a lot of walks, generating those ones. Walks, wild pitches, hit by pitches. Taylor really gave them those 2 runs, but nevertheless, the Tigers still up in this one 5-2 as we go into the bottom of the 6th inning. It looks like still on the mound for the Saints is going to be Grimes. To bat for the Tigers is going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Torino, Krenrich, and O'Neill to the plate. We will have a defensive change for the Saints over at first base. The pinch hitter, Baker, that was in for Atwood is now going to be in play. So instead of just that typical pinch hit, he's actually going to go in as a defensive replacement right now, so he'll fill Atwood's spot. We do have just a friendly reminder, folks, we will be having Senior Day following immediately after this game right here. There's going to be a little bit of a huddle by the team, and then we're going to start getting ready for Senior Day celebration. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to take a quick break for a second, get a drink of water, and I'm going to be back here shortly. But you're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field. Tigers up in this one 5-2 against the Saints of Thomas More University. At the plate is going to be Luke Torino, the second baseman for Georgetown. Count now even at 1-1. Do have some good news here, folks. I did tell you a little bit earlier that our women's volleyball team were playing in the semifinals of the Mid-South Conference Tournament, and they beat Life University in 5 sets. That 5th set going 15-11, so a close matchup between our Tigers and the Running Eagles of Life University. And I'm hearing right now, not only will they be in the finals tomorrow against Lindsey Wilson at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, of course, they also made it to nationals. So look forward and stay tuned to that as Georgetown may be hosting that game right there. So once again, just follow us on social media to stay up to date with everything that is going on with your Tigers. Meanwhile, back here at Robert N. Torino, with the 1-2 count, breaking ball right there by Grimes. Does miss down and in, so the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Did talk about a little bit update for football. They were beating Pikeville 32-16 as they're in the 3rd quarter right now. The 2-2 pitch. Torino fouled that one down the first base line, so count remains the same. Also, not only did our Tigers softball team, they won the first one 10-8. They also won the second one in extra innings 7-6. So a lot of wins for the Tigers here today. We also had a couple tennis matches going on, and in just a little bit I'll get you some score updates on those as well. But the Tigers really doing it big here as we had a lot of games going on today. Luke Torino chopping that one over to third base. He got a catch and release, and he is able to get Torino out in time. That third baseman being Nowak over there, did a good job recognizing the game clock is what we call it in baseball, in terms of knowing how much time you have before you need to catch and release and throw that ball. So Tigers now have 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Up to plate is going to be the left fielder, number 8. Pardon me, that is going to be Nicholas DiLorenzo, number 12, for the Tigers, pinch hitting for the catcher, Brandon Krenrich. DiLorenzo in his first at-bat of the day. Fouls that one straight back. Count now even 1 ball and 1 strike. DiLorenzo hitting .206 on the year, 7 hits and 34 at-bats, has 2 doubles, 1 home run, 3 runs driven in. Started this year off, if I'm not mistaken, as one of the designated hitters for the Tigers, and it's kind of gotten out of the lineup as other guys have progressed. Gets a hit through the 5-6 hole right there, and a pinch hit appearance like that with the base knock will surely get you back in the lineup. So excellent piece of hitting right there for Nicholas DiLorenzo to get the first hit of this inning for the Tigers. We will have a pinch runner over at first base. The courtesy runner, Jacob DeZarn, in to run for Nicholas DiLorenzo. And Brandon Krenrich will still re-enter in the top half of the 7th inning, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I could be wrong in that Krenrich may now actually be going into pitch in the top of the 7th. Manderson coming in to catch. We'll see how kind of that works out when we get there. Nevertheless, at the plate, we do have Chris O'Neill, number 25, the third baseman for the Tigers. O'Neill 0 for 2 on the day, pair of flyouts to right. You see the home plate umpire down at the bottom of your screen, just making all and marking all those changes that could be coming up. So right here you get a good look at O'Neill stepping into the box and the pitcher Grimes getting ready to throw the pitch when the home plate umpire not even ready to call a strike or whatnot. That shows you how locked in both of these guys are in terms of the situation and what needs to get done. Grimes, of course, needing to throw a big shutdown inning right here, and O'Neill needing to extend this inning and tack on a couple more runs. DeZarn over at first base. He's 13 for 17 in stolen base attempts. Tried, got tossed out in one here. Back at the plate, we do have O'Neill. That slider right there misses away. O'Neill doing a good job taking. So the count is now at 1 ball and no strikes. One 0 count. Grimes taking his time to come back, come set, really holding the ball. It's what you need to do to stop the running game. Fastball delivered right there. That one chopped over to the second baseman, Martin. They're going to feed it to Benzinger, and they're going to try and get the double play. They do not, as O'Neill is able to get there in just the nick of time. They do get that lead runner out over at second base in DeZarn. So they do now have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning with right fielder Eric Thrower coming up to the plate. Another quick update for sports going around here at Georgetown. Women's and men's tennis played against Freed-Hardeman University today. Women won their match 7-0 against Freed-Hardeman, and then men's tennis dropped a little bit. They lost 2-5. Thrower takes that pitch up for ball number 1. Count now 1 ball and no strikes. Throw for the Tigers. 1 for 1 on the day. Walked in his first at-bat, and then that big triple in that left center gap to start off that 2-run 5th inning just an inning ago. He'll take that one for a strike. That pitch fouled by Thrower up and over that first base dugout. He's now down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thrower needing to find a way on right here. As I mentioned, he's 1 for 1 on the day. That one fouled and out of play down that right field side. He did get a hit in his first at bat. I know I talked to him a couple nights ago. Got the opportunity to catch up, just see how life was and whatnot. And he was mentioning to me that he doesn't necessarily like hitting down in that 9 hole, but he really understands that it's a necessity for the team. And I've been telling him, like, down in that bottom of the lineup, he's another one of those key players that Coach B and the offense can rely on to consistently do damage. O'Neal taken off and easily thrown out. Caruso behind the dish having himself an excellent game, really tossing out runners left and right here at Robert N. Wilson Field. So that'll do it for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 6th with that O'Neal being thrown out over there at second base. As we go into the top of the 7th inning, due up for the Saints is going to be the top of the lineup with Nowak, Baldock, and Baker up to bat. Keon Taylor still out on the mound for the Tigers. He's looking to come and close this one out. As once again, this is game 2 of a doubleheader, so it is only a 7-inning ball game here at Robert N. Wilson Field. I'm going to step away for just a moment, get some water, and when we return, the Saints up in the top of the 7th, down to their final 3 outs. You're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network here on Stretch. Welcome back, folks, to Robert N. Wilson Field, home of your Georgetown College Tigers. They're up in this one 5-2 against the Saints of Thomas More University. Still out on the mound for the Tigers in the 2nd inning of work, Keon Taylor. Taylor came in last inning with the 5-0 ball game. Handful of walks, hit by pitch, wild pitch, gave the Saints their 2 runs in the game. Keon Taylor back out on the mound looking to shut it down. Right here, he threw 36 pitches last inning, 18 balls, 18 strikes, split dead even. That pitch must have missed just up right there, counting out 2 balls and no strikes. If I'm not mistaken, what I saw down in the bullpen was Brandon Krenrich warming up, and he's still out to catch right now. So I have a feeling if things get into a little bit of a jam right here, Krenrich will actually be stripping that catcher's gear, and he'll be taking the mound to try and close out this ball game. But enough guessing. Let's get back to the action and let's see what's going on here at the plate. Keon Taylor delivering that 3-0 pitch fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. Three balls, 1 strike to Nowak at the plate. Fans and misses through that one. Count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nowak 2 for 3 on the day, pair singles and a ground out. 3-2 pitch. Taylor gets him swinging for the first out of the inning, excuse me. That's Keon's 4th punch out of the game right there. He's struck out all 4 batters that he has faced. Delivers a good strike right there for strike number 1. Now finally getting ahead, doing exactly what he needs to do, coming in for relief. Throwing strikes, really pounding the strike zone. And at the plate now is Baldock. And their off-speed pitch, first strike right there. Taylor's now starting to lock it back in, really understanding his role in this situation. I mean, he's a senior, he's a veteran, he's been out on the mound for a handful of times, but sometimes that first inning they just they'll get away from you. And so he's doing a good job so far with this second batter right here, and gets second strikeout of the inning, 5th punch out of the ball game. Saints now down to their final out in the form of Baker. He walked in his first at-bat, put together a good at-bat as a pinch hitter in for Atwood. And he's now the Saints' last hope here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Taylor delivers. That one good on the outer half for strike 1. Baker taking all the way right there. Can't swing at first pitch after 2 punch outs. 2 punch outs like that. That one missing down, count now 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch by Taylor gets Baker to swing through that one. Count now 1 ball and 2 strike. Taylor getting ready to deliver the 1-2 pitch. And he does. Fastball gets him swinging. Strike 3. 3 up, 3 down, 3 punch outs. Keon Taylor. That'll do it for the Tigers in this one. They win 5-2 against the Saints of Thomas More University. Keon Taylor coming in that 6th inning. He scored, he allowed those 2 runs to come in via a handful of walks, but he really didn't let his defense work at that point. It was just between him and Krenrich, between walking guys and striking guys out. Keon comes in for 2 innings of relief, strikes out all 6 batters that he ends up facing to finish off this ball game against the Saints. Tigers win this one by a score of 5-2. What an exciting finish for this ball game right here. Once again, folks, I'm going to step away for just a moment, but please do not go anywhere. This is an awesome opportunity as we are about to celebrate Senior Day coming up here shortly. And as we do that, I'll be able to give you a little bit of details about some of the players, who's walking with them and whatnot. And so we do appreciate you for watching and tuning in. Tigers win this one, and they sweep the day 5-2. They take 2 wins. They improve their record. They improved their record to 22-14 overall, 8-6 in conference. The Saints now fall 18-19 overall and are 9-6 in conference play. Once again, I'm going to step away for just a moment as we get ready to celebrate Senior Day, folks. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, here at Robert N. Wilson Field. We are just about to get underway for Senior Day. It looks like the guys are going to be getting lined up in numerical order and meeting up with all their friends and families, those who are escorting them for today. But before we get there, let's take a quick look at the upcoming games for the Tigers. They do have one more game against Thomas More this Sunday at 1 p.m. I did mention that I would talk a little bit about that as far as having that day off tomorrow, Saturday, due to the rain and stuff. That it's going to come into a factor in terms of pitching and who you have available, because now Keon Taylor, who closed this game out, is able to pitch again in that game number 1. Following that, the Tigers have their last regularly scheduled home game against IUSC on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, and then they go away to face the Union College Bulldogs at 3 p.m., and then they have another Mid-South Conference series against Shawnee State University at Shawnee State. And just a little reminder there, a little reminder there in that Thomas More really beat up on Shawnee State the last time they played them. They took 2 of 3 in the series. They lost one game 2-15, but they won another 24-7. And that just kind of shows you any team can beat any team on any given day when it comes to playing baseball. And that's what makes this game just that much more special. You don't have the opportunity to say, hey, we're bigger, we're better, we're more physical, we have a better chance to win. It really comes down to whoever decides to really bring it that specific day. And so that's just an awesome part about baseball. So a couple good games still left ahead for the Tigers. Couple weeks left in the regular season before they go to Mid-South Conference play starting in early May. So I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I do want to continue to update you all on what's going on with the Tiger Athletics. Softball took 2 of 2 against Shawnee State University. That first game, they won 10-8. The second game, 7-6 in extra innings. Meanwhile, football team up against Pikeville, 32-16, going into the fourth quarter. Women's volleyball took the semifinals against the Running Eagles of Life University in 5 sets right there. So they're now not only going to the finals once again to play tomorrow at 12:30 p.m., but also to nationals, something that we may eventually be hosting as well. On the continuing the winning streak, women's tennis beat Freed-Hardeman University 7-0. Unfortunately, the men's team did lose 2-7 against Freed-Hardeman University. We're still waiting on results from men and women's outdoor track and field as they competed today as well. And we also have our men's volleyball team going up against Warner University in the semifinals down in Bowling Green of the Mid-South Conference tournament. So we're definitely rooting on them for a win. That way they can go into the finals and hopefully get a national bid themselves. They're on an 9-game winning streak, 8 in the regular season, and then 9 with the win yesterday. So a lot of big wins for the Tigers right here. And like I said, we are just about to get underway for Senior Day here shortly. There you see all 3 coaches, Coach Baumfeld, Randy Geit, as well as the pitching coach Tyler Arthur, getting the bats and everything ready for these players. It's been an honor and a tradition that the coaching staff gets each player a black and orange bat with their name engraved on it as a memory of their time here at the college. So it's a lot of fun. And it's a cool opportunity. And it's really fun to be a part of. There you see them getting them organized right there. This year we will be honoring 14 seniors, 13 players, and then Alexandra Gregory, the student assistant coach for the Tigers today. So 14 total. As we take this time, friendly little reminder, folks, if you want to go ahead and give us a follow on social media, you can go ahead and take a look at all of our handles down in the bottom right-hand corner, just in here just a moment. That way you can follow us on all the different social media platforms to stay up to date with everything that your Georgetown College Tigers are doing. Not only for your baseball team, but also for all the other teams going on as well. There you see them scrolling through right there. So go ahead and drop us a follow. And if you want to catch a recap of all the home games that we cover here at Georgetown, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel at Georgetown College Athletics. Typically within 24 to 48 hours after the game is played, the game is put up on YouTube So you can go ahead and check that out. A handful of events down in our alumni gym, our live events, and we broadcast them straight to YouTube. So if you go ahead and give us, go ahead, subscribe, click the bell, do whatever you got to do to stay notified and up to date with everything we're doing here at the college. Before we get Senior Day started, once again, I'm going to take another quick little break, get some water before we have the opportunity to celebrate these 14 seniors. Once again, folks, want to give a special shout-out to everybody watching and tuning in, not only just because it's Senior Day, but also to everybody who sticks around and tunes in to the broadcast in general. Myself, as well as the college and our Tiger Sports Network, really do appreciate everybody who does that, as it does mean a lot to us with how much effort that goes into putting on a live stream such as this. So that being said, I'm going to step away for one more moment, and when we return, we will have Senior Day coming up here at Robert N. Wilson Field. You're watching baseball on the Tiger Sports Network on Stretch. Welcome back, folks. We're just about to get Senior Day underway here at Robert N. Wilson Field. Every year at Georgetown College, we are proud to have student athletes who represent the school well through their hard work both in the classroom and on the field. Today, we call attention to 14 members of the baseball program who have represented the Tigers throughout their time in Georgetown, both on the field and off the field.
He would like to thank our president,
Before
William
we
Jones,
continue to get started, I did forget about this myself, but we do have Coach Baumfeld with a special word to his players. I'm going to go ahead and stick our extra camera out, our extra microphone out, so that you guys can hear that through the PA, and then we'll get started with Senior Day.
Director Ben Robison for doing an amazing job covering our team and being the play guy for our games. It has been an awesome coverage this season. A big thank you to all the parents who have supported this program throughout the season, especially the senior parents who are the ones that allow us to make this day so special. You have brought up fine young adults and should be so proud of what they have accomplished in their time here at Georgetown and all they will accomplish in their life after graduation. This team would not be what it is and where it is without my two coaches, Coach Geit and Coach Arthur. Each coach has left an imprint on this program and has allowed us to succeed. Whether it is Coach Geit's amazing recruiting class this year and every year, or Coach Arthur's new perspective and hard work in breaking down mechanics, this program would not be in the position we are today without them. I can't thank them enough. Finally, the seniors. These 14 guys are a special group. Cameron Allison and Isaac Olson, thank you for coming to Georgetown and believing in this coaching staff and this program. To come to us as seniors and even stay for a second year when last year was cut short. Your value to our program has made a difference and we truly appreciate you. Kenan Cisneros, Rigno Cano, and David Rojas. You three were shorted out a year but still persevered to graduate in 2 years. Your hard work showed and I am so proud that you will get started with your life after college, as you three showed so much resolve during these difficult times. Michael Gomez and Andrew Martinez, thank you for everything you have contributed to this program. I have seen so much growth from you, Michael, from your work ethic to your leadership skills to how you grow as a pitcher. Andrew, thank you for all you've done. I know this season at times has been frustrating, but you will always be remembered for your first team all-conference season where you pitched us to the best regular season record in school history and pitched one of the most amazing championship games I've ever been a part of. Brandon Krinrich, I'm so glad you chose to come to Georgetown. Watching you grow this season and become a better ball player and even better young man has been so gratifying. I have enjoyed our talks in the office, the good ones and the bad ones, and watching you run hard 90s is one of my greatest coaching accomplishments. This team is better for you coming to us. Val Stelmler and Shota Usada, sometimes I can't tell you two apart. You both have brought your amazing knowledge of medicine and physical therapy to the program. I know our team and our training staff are so grateful. You two have been a huge part of our success in your first year and this season. Even though you guys were hurt together last season, I'm glad you're finishing together. I do not think it would have gone any other way. Adrian Ramirez, you will be truly missed. I can't believe it's been 4 years since you stepped foot on this campus. Even though all the setbacks and injuries, I could not be prouder of an individual. I have seen you grow from a young boy who did not have a direction and who thought school was extremely hard, to a young man who's thriving and making others work hard on and off the field. I can honestly say your maturity and your attitude towards life will be your graduating this year has made me happier than any other time as a head coach. I am content now knowing that you will be successful in whatever you do after college and nothing will stop you from being successful. I am and will always be proud of you. Thank you for making me a better coach. Eric Thrower and Keon Taylor. What else can I say but thank you? You do not make it to the regional championship. We do not make it to the regional championship game or break all the records we did, and we don't have a chance this season to do the same without you two. Your leadership and your toughness are sometimes most individuals do not have. Eric, your even keel presence, your leadership is exactly what this team needs, and I'm so happy you are having such a great season as well. It is much deserved. Keon, you know when to be tough and when to be light in the mood. While you have accomplished and done so much for this program, I'm impressed with how you matured right before my eyes. You have always stayed true to yourself and never wavered while becoming the ultimate teammate. Your passion for the game, I hope, never leaves you, and I hope you will have that same passion for whatever you do in life. Because if you do, you will never be stopped. Thank you both for molding this team into what you both wanted it to be. This team is a reflection of its leader, and you both are this team's leader. And finally, Alexandria Gregory, thank you is not enough. You've been an amazing student assistant for this program for the past 4 seasons. You were more than a manager, you were truly a coach. You made the bad days fun and the fun days even better. Your knowledge of the game of this team is impressive for any coach. You were more than anyone could ask for, and I know the guys on the team were very appreciative. From being known by the team as Stat Girl your first semester to then being known as Alex and to simply being called Coach should show you the level of respect the guys on the team impart upon you. I truly can say we wouldn't be as successful without you being a Tiger. As I said, thank you is not enough, but thank you, and thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Gregory for allowing us to have Alexandria for 4 years as part of our family, as she will always be part of the Tiger baseball family. All 14 of you have changed this program forever. I will make sure you will continue to be proud of where you played and went to school. You 14 took us to the next level, and we will be forever grateful. Thank you again, and congratulations to these 14 special seniors. We have a lot more left to play this season. And now, without...
That message right there, folks, came from Coach Baumfeld. He wrote that up previously, knowing that he'd probably tear up as a result of that. But heartfelt message to all the players that he's saying goodbye to this season. Now we get the opportunity to honor David Rojas. Right now, David Rojas is from Santa Ana, California. He's being escorted by his mom, Esther Rojas. The health science major with a minor in sociology plans to continue school to become a respiratory therapist. His favorite memory at Georgetown is hanging out with his friends every single day. That's number 9, David Rojas.
Number 10, Shota Usa.
Next up for the Tigers is going to be number 10, Shota Yusuda. A Sapporo, Japan native is being escorted by Kimberly Gift. The health science major with a double minor in public health and communication and media study plans to be a sports nutritionist. Shota's favorite Georgetown memory is making a lot of friends, and he has done so with Val Stamler, Luke Torino, and a lot of other guys on this team. And there you see him standing next to Kimberly Gift in honor. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. Miss Gift, walking a handful of players out, has really impacted this Tiger team in so many ways. Next up is going to be number 11, Keon Cisneros. Keon Cisneros is a Rancho Santa Margarita, California native. He's being escorted by his parents, Wajma and Trinidad Cisneros. The kinesiology major with a minor in sociology plans to become a chiropractic doctor and work alongside his dad. Keenan's favorite Georgetown memory is playing 3-man. That's number 11, Keon Cisneros. There you see him with his mom and his dad right there. Now we get the opportunity to celebrate number 14, Adrian Ramirez. He was at third base today, and you see Kim Gift once again. Adrian Ramirez, he's from Azusa, California, being escorted by Miss Gift, otherwise Kim Gift, as most of us know her. Ramirez is a kinesiology major with a liberal arts minor, and he plans to be a physical education teacher when he grows up. Adrian's favorite Georgetown memory is being on the coaching staff for 5 years. That's number 14, Adrian Ramirez. Number 17, Cameron Allison. He's a Marietta, Georgia native, and he's being escorted by his dad, David Allison. Communication and media studies major with a minor in psychology, plans to be a pharmaceutical sales representative. Cameron's favorite Georgetown memory is finishing his degree while playing the sport he always loved. That's number 17, Cameron Allison. That brings up number 19, Michael Gomez. He's a Moreno Valley, California native. He's being escorted by his dad, Michael Gomez, his mom, Stephanie Gomez, and his girlfriend, Georgie, as well as his brother, Jaden. The exercise science major with a minor in psychology plans to enlist in the Navy following his time here at Georgetown. His favorite Georgetown memory is barbecuing with his friends on Sunday. Number 19, Michael Gomez. I'm going to miss the days whenever I pass by and I see him, and he's always going to ask me, hey, Roby, what am I doing with my life? And it looks like he's finally decided going to go ahead and serve our country proudly. That'll bring up number 20, Eric Thrower, the captain for the Tigers. He's from Toronto, Canada. He's being escorted by a former Tiger who was on the broadcast earlier today, Nick Acosta. He's a business administration and economics major with a minor in communication and media studies, and he plans to go back home and coach following his time at Georgetown. His favorite Georgetown memory is when former strength and conditioning coach Jonathan Harrison used to get the team ready for a 5 a.m. workout by using smelling salts to wake them up. That's number 20, Eric Thrower. That'll bring up Brandon Krenrich, number 21. He's a Gallatin, Tennessee native. He's being escorted by his father, Todd Krenrich. The sociology major plans to stay in baseball throughout his whether it be playing or catching. His favorite memory is going to regionals our senior year in 2019, and he was a huge part in that help to make that happen. That's number 21, Brandon Krenrich. That brings up Val Stamler, number 24. Val Stamler, a Long Beach, California native who was born in France, is being escorted by his teammates Shota Yasuda and Jake Manderson. The psychology major with a minor in business plans to be a sports psychologist. Val's favorite Georgetown memory is learning Japanese from his roommate, the international superstar Shota Yasuda. Arigato. That's number 24, Val Stamler. Val and Yasuda are so inseparable, and both those guys walking him down were actually his roommates this year as well. That brings up Keon Taylor, who we saw this past game. He's a Rialto, California native, and he's being escorted by the former Tiger, Tom Taplin. The communication media studies major with a minor in sociology plans to chase athletic dreams. Keon's favorite Georgetown memory is being a part of this program when we won the most games in Georgetown baseball history. That's number 29, Keon Taylor. He's definitely made a mark on this program, not only with his performance on the field, but also the leadership that he shows on the team as well. So that brings up Isaac Olson. He's number 31. He's a St. Louis, Missouri native, and he's being escorted by Josh Wooten, the economics major with a double minor in psychology and business administration, plans to continue with baseball or be a financial advisor. Isaac's favorite Georgetown memory is having the opportunity to play the game he loves every day with his friends. After talking with a lot of these guys, that's their same sentiment. They love coming to the ballpark and spending the time with their guys. That was number 31, Isaac Olson. That brings up number 37, Andrew Martinez. He's a Riverside, California native, and he's being escorted by his parents, Tony and Dion Martinez. The exercise science major with a minor in psychology plans to become a pitching coach to pass his knowledge to the younger generation. Andrew's favorite Georgetown memory is sweeping the ceilings at 4-2-1 after sweeping a weekend series. That's number 37, Andrew Martinez. Next up is number 40, Rigo Cano. Rigo Cano is a Riverside, California native, and he's being escorted by his teammate Josh Duarte and Justin Brote. The sociology major with a minor in liberal arts plans to be a police officer. Rigo's favorite Georgetown memory is cooking out with the boys on Sunday. That's number 40, Rigo Cano. See him and Michael Gomez and a handful of other guys on this team really just enjoying each other and the time that they've spent at Georgetown with those barbecues over at Rucker Village. Just an amazing time. And without further ado, that brings up number 14, our student assistant coach, Alexandra Gregory. Alexandra is a Huntington Beach, California native, and she's being escorted by her mom, Elizabeth Gregory. The biology major with a double minor in Spanish and chemistry plans to go home and worked for the VCA West Coast as a veterinary assistant while applying to veterinary school. Alex's favorite Georgetown memory is her first home tennis match when the entire baseball team and coaches came to support her. That's student assistant Alexandra Gregory. It was an awesome opportunity, and I actually remember that day with spending the team. We got out of practice early, and we got the opportunity to really celebrate her and everything that she's done, and to see her compete in tennis, as she is a tennis player here at the college as well. Was just an awesome experience in doing that. It was just it was an incredible time, and she won her match too, that very first match in college that she played. So, but all of these people on the field, I got a chance to get to know them and really be a part of their lives. They've changed me. I know I've changed them, and it's just been an awesome opportunity to be here and broadcast, especially during their senior day. Once again, we'll go through all the different seniors that we have here for the Tigers. There we get David Rojas, Shoda Yusuda, Kenan Cisneros, Adrian Ramirez, Cameron Allison, Michael Gomez, Eric Thrower, Brandon Krenrich, Val Stamler, Keon Taylor, Isaac Olson, Andrew Martinez, Rigo Cano, and finally Alexandra Gregory. It's been an awesome opportunity and an honor really to be on the call for the Senior Day broadcast. A lot of smiles over there, and it's a great day. Tigers swept a day. They took 2 victories, Mid-South Conference victories from Thomas More University. So a couple big wins. They look to continue it on Sunday, and we look forward to broadcasting that game as well. So that'll do it here for our coverage at Robert N. Wilson Field. I want to give a special shout out to everybody watching and tuning in, really supporting these seniors through their time. I know it's difficult to kind of let your guy go and your son go off away to college, and so we do appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. And always supporting. So from everybody here at Georgetown College, my name is Ben Robison, and with our wonderful Tiger Sports Net crew, bringing you all the sights, sounds, and action from today's matchup, we do want to thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.